I'm Maureen Sieg. I come from Geneva, from Switzerland. I'm 24 years old. I have a hospitality background. I studied in EHL Hospitality Business School in Lausanne. And then I did also a master in Bocconi in fashion design and management. For me, I always had the choice to choose my career choice, to choose my next steps in my career. So I was never forced to go in any direction. I grew up in a background surrounded with hospitality and surrounded by arts. So my career was always very natural. The next step was always something that I believed was interesting and good for me. So in parallel, I also work in hospitality and consulting for different projects. The first time I came to Saudi Arabia was in 2007. I came here with my family. And the more recent time I came was in 2 years ago, actually, for a project, and now I'm here since a lot of time. Actually, I had no expectation about Saudi Arabia because I grew up surrounded by the Saudi culture. So even back in Geneva, I was always surrounded and hosted by family, friends. And to be honest, I was also amazed about the Saudi hospitality because it's no comparable through all of the different cultures. In Saudi Arabia, they host you like your family. And I think, you know, like also throughout the different people I met here in Saudi Arabia, and like always they make you feel like a family, like a big family, and this is a feeling that is not that is really only for Saudi Arabia, I think. My first impression was mind-blowing. When I arrived in Alula, I arrived by night, and so already it was beautiful to see the landscape. But the best was to wake up and to see the beautiful nature waiting for us. And so I was just amazed, you know, by the landscape, the nature, and the people who are in Alula that make, I think, all of the charm of Alula. I have made connection throughout the many times that I came here in Alula through any different industries and any different departments. So for me, it's every time I go in Alula, in the old town, there is always someone that I know, that I can arrange a meeting or an encounter, and so it's always very busy because in Alula you know everyone after a few years. I don't speak Arabic yet. I'm learning Arabic, but it's very difficult. So it's there is always the language barrier, but I feel that I can connect very well with the locals. So it's just a matter of understanding their culture, learning from their culture, and trying to fit and understand the environment. I think the key to adapt to the new culture is to be observant. So you have to not make everything about yourself, of course, and you have to be observant about what's happening around you and to be flexible, and also to have done your research, of course, about the culture, and to really, the best is, I think, to experience the culture rather than read about it. I feel that what I always say to people in Switzerland, it's about hospitality from Saudi Arabia, because they have this in their genes, And I come from a hospitality background, and it's amazing to see these genes that they have around hospitality, because always when you're they receive you at their places, they prepare more than necessary. They always want to make you feel comfortable and that everything is perfect. I traveled to different places in Saudi Arabia. I went to Jeddah, to Riyadh, and I also went to the Red Sea in And in Alula, there is a place that I think is my favorite. It's called Sharan, the natural reserve. Sharan is amazing. You go there and you are mesmerized by the beauty of the nature, because you arrive and everything around is about the nature. And also I share this experience with the different artists, and they have also this sensibility about their surroundings and the creativity. So it was different to experience this also with them, who has also this sensibility there. Can you explain your research table and your inspiration about Alula throughout all of this research?
So what you see here are some samples from our research in the past few years. I've been collecting sand and rocks from different parts of Al-Ula, and the textures you see are these textures that are native to Al-Ula. We've been using different molds to create these samples. As you can see here, there are different pigments that show the wide variety of the sand in Al-Ula. We've also been adding natural pigments like this to color the round earth. And as you can see in these samples, there are different layers and techniques used in these spaces. So I've been exploring how we can add such techniques in the current modern architecture.
In Alula, there is always something to do. There is always an exhibition, always an activity, an event. I visited a lot of sites actually in Alula, and I was lucky also to do this experience with experts, because it's only with experts from on-site that you can learn the most. Can you tell me more about this display?
Sure. So this is Eman Zedani table of research. He's following his research on this parasitic plant that is growing everywhere in the desert of Alula. It's following his artworks, The Keepers. And at the same time, he's building a science fiction story on what if the head of the eagles will still be here in Agra. So he made those imaginary artifacts that opens the gates of the tombs of Agra. So what you can see here, it's Agnieszka Kurent. Agnieszka Kurent, she's an artist from Poland, and she's really working closely on the links between biology, technology, and nature. Here, what you can see, it's two prints of a close-up of a sculpture called Chemical Gardens, and she was working with a scientist on this. And on her time here in Alula, she's really trying to collect as much as data as she can, meeting lots of experts like biologists, geologists, archaeologists to fulfill our database for future works.
Amazing. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
One place that that was very interesting, actually, it was the archives in RCU, in the museum collection, because there we could see all the artifacts that were collected, found in Alula during million years. And so to see all of them, different types of artifacts lying there, it was amazing to see the history physically. I went to FAME, to Andy Warhol exhibition in Mahaya. So this exhibition is still happening now in Alula. It was perfect to follow the curatorial path of the exhibition, to be able to follow also all of the artworks that were experienced. And after the exhibition, we also had a production in Mahaya. And this was about all the portraits from Andy Warhol that were also showcased in Mahaya. There is also the Camel Cup that is happening now, and I'm very excited to go and see it, because it will be the first time for me to witness a camel race, because I'm only used to horse races, so it will be the first time for me. A few days ago, it was actually the celebration of the one-year anniversary of Alula to be recognized as a tourism village. And I was there in the old town because they had a lot of celebration, and so to witness all of the celebration, it was perfect, because also, you know, I traveled a lot, and to be able to visit also Alula. It's different and not comparable than any other places. I went to stargazing in Alula, and there it was we had all the story about the history of each stars, of each constellation, and when we found that it was finished, the visit. It was not, in fact, because we are in Saudi Arabia, so they host you with a beautiful buffet, a beautiful food for you, and it was the best food I ate in Alula, because it was homemade, and it was a selection of typical Saudi food, with okra, with rice, with everything that you cannot imagine. You cannot be bored in Alula. There is always something to discover, to learn, to experience, which is the best part about Alula. To be really immersed, you know, in this beautiful open air. In my work, I was lucky to actually discover many Saudi artists, because I'm the president of the Seagull Foundation, which is operating a residency in Alula, which is part of a global program for Arts Alula Artist Residency, and it's co-founded by the Royal Commission for Alula and AFALULA. So during this program, I was able to meet different artists. And you always learn so much from them, because the best is to be close to them, to follow also their research, to follow their visit, because the artists they always have a a view, they always have an experience that sometimes the people they will pass, they will not see. So you learn from them, you learn from their sensibility, you learn from a lot from artists when you can exchange with Saudi artists. There is one concert that I attended that for me was amazing. It was the concert from Alicia Keys that took place in Maraya, and it was beautiful to see how she really attracted all of the guests closer to the stage, which is something very rare in Maraya, because otherwise people they stay on their chairs. So it was like a magnet. Alicia Keys was like a magnet to bring people closer to her, and the emotion of the concert, the emotion during the concert, and the energy was very mind-blowing. One thing that you can only experience in Saudi Arabia is the Saudi coffee, and this is something that you cannot take back in Switzerland because you can only taste it and drink it when you are in Saudi Arabia. So yes, for me it would be the Saudi coffee because there is only one place to drink it, which is Saudi Arabia. And the taste of Saudi coffee is very well balanced. And I'm not a fan of coffee, so for me it's a perfect alternative. I grew up with dates in my family, in my hometown, and so I know there are many different types of dates and many different recipes also. So of course the dates are part of a bigger culture, and it was the harvest season also not too long ago. In Alula especially, there is no typical day at work. There is it's always so different between all of them because there is always unexpected event, unexpected visit that appears. So you have to be very flexible, you have to be very adaptive to all of the different activities that appear. I don't think there is any hard parts in my career because I'm new also in the industry. So it's really only about adapting yourself. My motivation is really to experience the most that is out there waiting for us. And so there is not a minute to lose because there are so much different places, people to meet that this is the motivation that I wake up every morning to be able to experience all of this. The beautiful aspect is to meet with people, because during my work I also meet with so many different people from different industry, from everywhere, and this is very enriching to be able to communicate, to exchange with them, with their ideas, with their vision, and also with all that they have to share with you. It was amazing to be part of this all these opportunities that are happening in Saudi Arabia and in Alula, because I talked a lot also with locals, and also the locals, you know, they want to be part of this change. And so for me to witness it also as an active actor, it's just perfect, because it's not only to see it, but also to participate to this change. J'adore l'Arabie Saoudite, j'ai toujours grandi aussi autour de cette culture. Et depuis 2017, quand je suis venue en Arabie Saoudite, depuis là, c'est toujours une expérience magnifique. Donc je vous recommande de venir très rapidement.